Hello, one person in. You okay? Hello. You okay? Vaderdrome, hello there. Gonna have a couple more in. We'll just wait for a couple of minutes just to see if we get any more people in, and then I'll make a start with me ramblings. It's nice to see people drop on straight away though. That picture's looking a bit grainy on my side. I don't know if it's my camera or my connection or what. I hope it looks okay on your side. If you can hear a weird noise in the background, I've got a fly in my room and I cannot get rid of it, and it's huge. Cool. If everything looks all right, then mate, then we're I'm good with that. Must just be my side here. It's like I've said in the title. Nice week, isn't it? Like I said, the title on this one. The collection's getting that big now that doing one-off videos and some and like it doesn't really work out sometimes. It's hard to do just small videos on certain things. So I thought, sort of once, maybe I might do this every Sunday from 6 p.m. until the foreseeable, until I've gone through everything, because there's quite a bit. So I might do it like an hour at a time, 6 o'clock every Sunday. We'll have a chat, have a talk through some of the stuff I've got. And again, this is going to be solely based on all the stuff that's sword and sorcery based, or high fantasy, or high adventure kind of stuff that's in my collection. Whether that's DVD or Blu-ray. I've got quite a bit on Blu-ray, but the weird thing is the UK market, sort of obscure stuff of the sword and sorcery films of the dead late 70s all the way through the 80s. Not a lot of it's been released on Blu-ray. Quite a bit of it's been released in the US, or I think there's some German releases out there. Well, the UK wise, we've got not that much apart from sort of the standard releases. 88 films have turned a few out, sort of the Italian ones. It's like Iron Master and things like that. But I'm surprised that none of these companies have really jumped on the bandwagon and gone for it with some of these titles. 101 Films have put a few out, but not many. I think. I mean, we'll have a look at them later. But they put both Hercules films out, Hercules 1 and 2, with Lou Ferrigno. But that's pretty much about it for Blu-ray eyes, unless there was a big title. The big title stuffs have got releases, but the lesser known titles and the just sort of gone. No one seems to have wanted to pick them up, which I find strange, because I would imagine there's a big market for it. I know Vinegar Syndrome in the US put that lovely box set out of Beastmaster, which is it's just amazing looking. And I think, well, if a company like Vinegar Syndrome can get hold of a film like that and do the 4K restoration to it, why the sort of UK companies sort of currently turning the nose up at this genre? I don't really know what it is. There are exceptions, like I say, 88 Films have done a couple. Network have put one out, which we'll have a look at in a bit. Yeah, Kino seemed to do a lot. But again, unless I'm importing this stuff, I just can't get my hands on it, which is a shame, really. Importing stuff just really expensive. I would imagine. I've not looked at Kino's library. What titles have Kino actually turned out? Do you know? Vader. I would imagine there was probably the more obscure title, which is good. I mean, some of the Roger Corman stuff has had DVD release over here, but no one else seems to have touched those films since the early 2000s, I suppose. I mean, it just shocks me. The rights to them must be somewhere, and they must be on someone's radar, but no one's actually done anything about it, which is odd. Just put that back. Yeah. So we'll just have a few. I've picked some titles out. We'll go through a brief history of my sort of way into the whole sword and sorcery thing. Maybe a little bit different to everybody else that's watching this. But I've got, what have I got here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 titles. We'll go through 10 titles. I could probably do 10 a week. That'll probably take me into 4 weeks, maybe. So if we can get through 10 in an hour, we're laughing. If it drags out further, then I'll do more of these on a Sunday if people are interested. Yeah, I mean the Conan films. Again, I'm surprised none of the boutique labels seem to have picked them up. I'd even take now just a 4K transfer of the Conan stuff. It's the biggest title in the genre, and no one's done it as far as I'm aware. It's not on 4K. I don't know what it is with these boutique labels. Just seem to swerve around a lot of the sword and sorcery and high fantasy stuff, which is a shame. So my introduction to the whole genre was in probably about 1982, I want to say. So I'd have been about 5, and a local labour club near where we lived used to do a cinema Sunday once a month, and they would turn really what was the function room into a cinema for a Sunday afternoon, and fathers would take the children up there, and it'd be a good afternoon all around. And I can always remember this one particular time. They was really excited. and they said they got a print of Star Wars. So in '82, for that to be shown in a Labour club in a local town was a massive thing. So people flocked from all over the area and got in the place, and it was all set up like it was a you know what I mean, once a month every Sunday. And when we got there, they told us that they'd not got this print of Star Wars. They'd had problems getting hold of it, but they had got another film. I think a few people might have dwindled away, but a few people stopped, and me and my dad stopped. And the film that they showed in its place has stuck with me to this day. And that film was the animated adaptation and version of Lord of the Rings. Now, as a 5-year-old child watching this, yeah, it was an animation, and obviously animation was massive at the time, but this was huge, and I came away mesmerised by how good this was. Now, at the time, I had no concept of it not being a complete film, or you know what I mean. It was just spellbinding to me. So this has always stuck with me. I mean, there is a Blu-ray version of this. I just got the original DVD of it that Warner Brothers put out. The Blu-ray version of this now, second-hand, quite expensive. It's about £22 second-hand. But it's just one of those films that's always stuck with me. And I think this was my gateway into the whole genre. Obviously, being 5 years old, it sort of stuck with me. And then I think sort of like at the time the presence of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe being on TV as well, me having those toys, and then obviously later on your cartoons like Dungeons and Dragons. Well, I just backflipped for that kind of stuff. It was brilliant. But this was the first film that struck it all off for me. Was Lord of the Rings. This version, again, like I said, there is a Blu-ray version of this, but this is my DVD version of it, and I've had this since it came out. And this is a really old copy now, because this is in the old Warner Brothers snapper cases like that. Then when these came out, I hated these things. I thought they were terrible. But no, I really do like them now. It's nice. It's got like I don't think the camera's picking it up properly. It's like all gold embossed on the back. It's nice. Same with the title on the front of it as well. Sort of gold embossed. You can see it like that. But yeah, so that was my gateway into the whole high fantasy, sword and sorcery kind of thing. Yeah, I'd like to see someone like Indicator pick up the Conan films. Something we'll have a look at in a second through Indicator. They do a brilliant job, and again, I don't understand why none of these UK companies have picked it up. They can only be rights things, because they would be big sellers, real big sellers. And I think that showed with what Vinegar Syndrome did with Beastmaster. You know what I mean? It's surely it must have had these companies scrambling to get hold of some of these titles. What is the closest you'll think we'll get to a film adaptation of the Dungeons and Dragons storyline? As in the Dungeons and Dragons cartoon? I don't know really. I mean, it's difficult to say. It's been so long. I think there's always been something kicking around for years that sort of stuff was being done with it or whatever. Then nothing really happens. I don't know if it would be feasible or not anymore. I don't know if it would work. If it had been done early '90s, mid '90s, then maybe. Now it might not work as much. Big CG on those kind of titles now. Because no one does, you know what I mean, practical effects anymore. Everyone's CG and stuff, aren't they? So I don't know if it really work or not. It may do, and there may be a call for a film like that, but I'm not sure. I mean, I suppose the old Dungeons and Dragons film that got released in what, I don't know when that would have been. I mean, I've got a copy of that somewhere, mid-2000s, somewhere that came out. I mean, that was just shite, wasn't it? It was atrocious, and I know it wasn't an adaptation of the cartoon or anything, but to use the franchise name from the obviously role-playing board games to a cartoon franchise that everyone knew and loved. It was a bit of a travesty what they did with it. Like I say, going back to Indicator Films and Powerhouse and the stuff that they turn out is brilliant. Obviously, the older I got, the love for this kind of film never sort of disappeared. It always stayed around with me, and these three titles that Indicator put out was a main thing of watching for me when I was growing up. These are Indicator Spine number 24, 25, 26. I mean, these were put out as a complete box set, and I think there was an extra disc in there as well. That was that if I'm not mistaken, it was a documentary on Ray Harryhausen as well. So it sort of gives it away. So they are The Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, The Golden Voyage of Sinbad, and Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. Three absolutely fantastic films that I've probably watched that many times. I could probably take part in myself. They are fantastic films, and the work of Ray Harryhausen is just amazing. I mean, the guy's a legend. And what he did for these kind of films, then I think people still look back now and in awe of it. You know what I mean, for what he was doing at the time. Seven Voyages of Sinbad that got put out by Indicator is excellent. I mean, these are all fantastic looking. This one is 1958. This one came out. So, you know what I mean, to see this now on my 4K setup, yeah, this is all your Blu-ray, but it's a 4K scan of it on a Blu-ray. Looks tremendous. It looks fantastic. But these films, look on the back there. If you want. I mean, that list of extras on there is huge. Box set of these goes for crazy money now, so I didn't bother with that. So, well, the Seven Voyages of Sinbad, I had fond memories of it. It's a really good film. I don't think you can see them from up here, but I've got some of the 4-inch resin figures of characters from Ray Harryhausen's workshop that was in these films. So seeing this kind of stuff as a kid, and you would see it all the time. You know what I mean? You don't seem to. TV in the UK is completely different now. When I was young, you know what I mean, films, event TV and films on TV was a big thing, and seeing stuff come on sort of TV at Christmas time, you know what I mean, you get a TV guide at Christmas and you'd see this kind of stuff going to come on. And then again, sort of Easter time, they always showed films at Easter and things like that. And it doesn't happen anymore, you know what I mean, not like it used to. But these were a mainstay of TV around that time, and I watched these time and time again, and love them, and still love them to this day. It's great. So that's the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad. Next one is the Golden Voyage of Sinbad. Probably the one out of the three, that's my least favourite. Still good, still an excellent film. Out of the three, this one didn't do it as much for me as the first and the third one did. This is 1973. This one. This is a 2K restoration that Indicator did. Again, fantastic little release. If you're into this kind of stuff, you really need to pick up what Indicator did with these. They're always on sale. When Indicator's got the sale on their website, these are always in the 3 for 30, so £10 each. They are worth picking up. They're worth picking up when they're in the 3 for 30. They're worth picking up anywhere, but if you can wait for the 3 for 30, then it's fantastic. Vader I recently picked up She and Jack the Giant Killer, Barbarians and the Magic Sword from Kino. Yeah, let's get Jack the Giant Slayer. 101 Films in the UK put that one out. Barbarians is one that I'm desperate to get hold of, because I don't think that's ever had a release in the UK, whether that was DVD or Blu-ray. I don't, for some bizarre reason, we've never had that one. No, I know that is if that is a Kino title, then I can probably look into picking that one up. She was put out on DVD. I don't think she's ever had a Blu-ray release over here, and but yeah, like I said, Jack the Giant Killer has had a release. That's definitely a 101 film title. Well, the Jason the Argonauts thing. Once we've had a look at Sinbad, we'll have a look at Jason the Argonauts and that kind of stuff, because they was put out by a different company in the UK. So there is a Blu-ray release of those. Hello, Dean. You all right? Third one out of that Indicator release is Sinbad and the Eye of the Tiger. I love this one. This is great. This is the same age as me. This film, 1977. This came out. Another fantastic release by Indicator. Again, this one's a 2K restoration. Yeah, 2K restoration from the original negative. This one again looks fantastic. It's just weird that Indicator just decided to do these three, and then nothing else really. I mean, to put the kind of films that we're going to be talking about onto a label in the UK, you know what I mean? I suppose Indicator's the one that's got it written all over it. And why they've not, I'm not 100% sure. So they were the three mainstays when I was younger growing up. The Indicator released. The other one, keeping in line with all that Ray Harryhausen and stuff, kind of a quick look at that one. It might get a bit of glare because I've got it in a bag. This one is Jason the Argonauts. Again, this is a really nice release. This HMV release on the premium collection line. These get a nice slip box. This one's a Blu-ray, DVD, and a digital download. In these, you get either 4 art cards and a poster. In some of the newer releases on these, you'll get both. But this is a really, really nice release. Looks nice, cleaned up, and that. Yeah, this one's still in print. If you wait for HMV, they put these on sale about 3 times a year. So at 3 points of time there, the next sale on these will be coming up to the Christmas period and just after Christmas, where these are 2 for £15. Normally they're £15 each, but these are 2 for £15. These are definitely worth a pick up for £2.15. If you watch any of my other videos where I chat about this kind of stuff, I mean, if you want to check out my other channel as well, Tony's Creepy Corner, I talk about these on there as well, the horror related titles that they put out. These are fantastic releases. Anyone who says that they're not good releases and not value for money, then really don't know what they're talking about, because 2 of these for £15, it's brilliant. You know what I mean? £7.50 each when they're in the sale. I mean, what can you get for £7.50? So Jason the Argonauts, another one that was a mainstay. He's brilliant. 1963, this one. This is spine number 15 of this range. Transfer looks fantastic. I've only ever come across a couple of transfers on these that isn't brilliant. Again, we'll look at one of them films a bit later on these. It might not get today, it might get next week. But yeah, the transfers are pretty good. I mean, if you're in the States, I don't know who released this one originally. Does it say on the back of this? It doesn't know. But oh, it's a Columbia Pictures one, so I'm not just sure, because in the States, right, okay. Normally, with anything that HMV puts out in this range, it will be either on the Warner Brothers Archive label or the Paramount Presents label. Most of the HMV stuff are just transfers of those, are just ports of those transfers. So they'll be under license from one of those companies, and then they put them out into these special editions like this. If you can't get hold of one of these in the States, if no one's put Jason there, I'm surprised no one's put Jason the Argonauts out onto Blu-ray in the States. Oh, it's out of print. All right. Then eBay. I mean, I recently in the last week I've sent some stuff out to the States. So a good friend of mine out there called Johnny Walker, and it cost me about, and bear in mind I sent in, it was a semi-largest package. It was 4 films or 4 DVDs, and it cost me £18 to ship it over. So possibly if you could pick one of these up off eBay and get it shipped, you might be able to get it a little bit less. So the cheapest alternative shipping something like this to the US, I think it's about £7, but that could take up to a month, where I paid a little bit more and got Johnny's to him quite quicker. But that's probably the best way, because they are really nice as well. They're really nice releases. It's a shame I've got it bagged up. And I'll tell you what, I'll take it out of the bag. I'll show you why I'm interested. Australian releases only available from different online retailers in the US. Yeah, I mean, what's the Australian company that turns some really? Is it Umbrella? Have you had a look at Umbrella in Australia? Whether they've got a version of this, I'm not 100% sure. Excuse me. So that's the HMV Premium Collection version. That's the front. It's the back. Quite a bit of special features. Special features as a commentary with Ray Harryhausen and a film historian, Tony Dalton. Commentary with director Peter Jackson and a visual look at Randall William Cook. Original skeleton fight storyboards. The legendary Ray Harryhausen featurette. Ray Harryhausen interviewed by director John Landis. And the Ray Harryhausen Chronicles, narrated by Leonard Nimoy, the documentary. So you get a hell of a lot on that one. So these come in a nice side-loading slip box. Quality is really good on these. See that for a sec. And again, the box is exactly the same as the slip. Digital download. The code, I'm sure the code, it doesn't matter, it's out of date, so that doesn't matter. Here are cards, 4 of them. They've never been opened in this one. And then in this, you get the Blu-ray, and the DVD. Nice little back art, some back art on there as well. So they are a really good release for the money. I mean, they're fantastic for the money. No, you're welcome. You're welcome. That's what all this is about, really. I mean, if I can show something that's different to what somebody else has got, or a variant, or something that someone's not got, then it helps the community, doesn't it? It's a good thing. So we'll try and get one back in there. I'll leave that to one. So that was Jason the Argonauts. I'm trying to think what else is on that line. Well, I'll tell you what. While we're looking at Harry and stuff and that, I'm jumping the gun a bit, but another release on the HMV Premium Collection, Clash of the Titans. Another really good release. Again, I'll open it up. Have a look. I mean, it's amazing how many companies are picking up the older stuff, but the sort of 80s stuff, no one seems to look at. You know what I mean? So the slip on this is a nice sort of matte finish. Again, really good quality slip. So the back side loading. Again, front and the back of the box is exactly the same as the slip. This is span number 56. This one, 981. So again, your digital download, that's probably out of date anyway now. Oh, that one's still in there. That's a bonus. Well, I'll tell you what, if anybody that's watching, if you want a digital download of Clash of the Titans, if it's any good to you, there's the code. Use it. I won't. You want to pause that and take that code down and download that, by all means you do that. There we go. There's something for free. Again, in this Clash of the Titans, get a nice book in this one. It's more, some of these titles, the boutique companies, you get a lot of nice books and that. This is more like a little glossy magazine, but there's a lot in there. It's a good read through. It's very well put together. I would say probably about 26 pages long, something like that. That's okay. And then your DVD and your Blu-ray. And then you get that on. Some artwork. So it's good that these kind of films are getting the love. I mean, they deserve it, and you know what I mean. I love my horror films. I love sci-fi films. I love a good action film. But if I was to go out on a limb and someone to ask what's your favourite film genre, then it's got to be sword and sorcery, high fantasy stuff. You know what I mean? It's loved it as a kid and still love it now. It's great. So that one was Clash of the Titans on the HMV Premium Collection. That's that one. So The other films that I'm going to have a look at now, again, at the moment, it's just the stuff I'm looking at is just really mainstream stuff, the stuff that everybody will know. And then I'll get on some more obscure stuff later on. So the next one, I think, is definitely my favourite sword and sorcery film of all time. But it's probably my favourite film of all time. And that's a bold statement. And it is 1980s Hawk the Slayer. Brilliant film. Absolutely fantastic. We'll come back to that in a sec. What are your thoughts on releasing Shaw Brothers craze that has been happening with the boutique labels between Eureka, 88 Films, and Arrow? It's amazing. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's again, it's good that these companies are picking titles up that are worthy of doing something with. 88 Films for me sometimes can be a little bit all over the place. If you're a collector and you can see this stuff behind me here, and there's more down there, and there's more over here, and there's more above my head. If you're a collector, people pretty much like things uniformed when it's on a shelf and it looking nice. 88 Films, their spines are just all over everywhere. And as a collector, it drives me insane. It's nuts. You know what I mean? Arrow have got it right. 101 Films have got it right. Eureka's got it right. 88's just everywhere. I mean, they're Italian collections, different to the other. It's just all over the show. It's like the Jean-Claude Van Damme stuff at the moment that they've done. It's brilliant that they're doing all those Van Damme films. I wish they'd do some of the better ones. I mean, Cyborg's just been released. That's cool, but they just sit crazy on the shelf. You know what I mean? There's no tie-in feature of anything when it's sat there. It's just all over everywhere. Eureka, I love as a company. I'm not sure if Eureka's got anything in the whole sword and sorcery thing. I mean, they have got Flesh and Blood, which is a decent film, but I wouldn't really say it's sword and sorcery. And then Arrow. I mean, I'm surprised Arrow's not picked more of this kind of stuff up. You know what I mean? They're like the horror stuff and things like that. It's good that these companies are doing stuff with films like this. Without these companies, a lot of these films would just go by the wayside, I think. But back to Hawk the Slayer. I could probably say hand on heart that this is my favourite film of all time. And people will probably think, what? It's shit, but it's that shit. It's good, and it's amazingly good. Excuse me. It's got everything that a sword and sorcery film wants and needs, and it does it so spectacularly well on a budget, and you can tell it's on a budget, but still it just looks brilliant for it. And the soundtrack on this is some funky ass disco music. It is ace. This particular release of it that Network put out in the UK looks phenomenal. It looks absolutely brilliant. The colours and everything just pop on this fantastically. And you get some extras on this as well. Show the back on. Now, whether this is available in the US, I would imagine a company like Kino would probably have a look at this turn something like this out. I'm surprised if they've not. Well, this transfer is amazing. So special features on this is the original theatrical trailer in HD, the raw textless elements in HD, the clapperboards revenged by the sword, a little documentary, by the sword divided, candid on look at the locations, which is quite good. Someone's gone back to look at the locations of where this was filmed. Sharpening of the blade, a behind the scenes documentary. It's got an image gallery on there as well, which is quite good. And it's got the original script on a PDF file. If you put it into your computer, you can print the original script off, which I think is pretty cool. What's the Blu-ray? A little bit of artwork of the original theatrical poster. The back of that. This is a fantastic film. A fantastic film. The cheese factor is high, and it knows it. It's got pretty much the who's who of the British acting at the time. Jack Palance is in this. He plays the bad guy in the back there. John Terry took the part of Hawk. Bernard Breslaw's in here. Ray Charleston's in here. It's an exceptional film, and I love it. Always have done. Other thing with Network is they put them in these really little thin cases, but these are cheap. I mean, these are now popped up in HMV in the UK, or you can order off their own website. I think currently they're brand new. These are $7.99, which is fantastic. You know what I mean? It's great value for money. But for me, this film warranted a nice collector's edition by someone. You know what I mean? Halt the Slayer picked it up because of your recommendation. I appreciate that. No, you're welcome. See, if it was a film that you never come across, and just because I banged on about it for a while and a couple of other videos, you've got a copy. Do you like it? Have you watched it? Do you like it? It's that's the thing. I mean, I could recommend all kinds of shite, but it's your taste, and if it's your taste and you've watched the film and you liked it, then I'm happy that someone else has grabbed a copy of it. Back to a couple of your earlier comments. 88 Films seem not to announce the releases. They've just announced a new one, haven't they? I think it was a Scream Factory release from a few years back. I can't think what it's called now. A 1979 sort of like monster horror kind of film. I can't. It's something with P. I can't think what it is off the top of my head. I don't know. Yeah, Eureka's free shipping. Yeah, and the shipping tends to be really, really good. The best UK company for shipping their titles out, whether it's in a normal time or at sale times, is 101 Films. 101 Films is fantastic at shipping their stuff. It gets to you really quick. Anything over £10 is free. They wrap it really well. So 101 Films are worth checking out. I know, again, Johnny Walker, I've convinced him to check a couple of titles out, and he was sort of impressed for the quality he got for what the money was. So we have watched it, and you think it's wonderful. Yeah, it is. It's brilliant. You know what I mean? It really is brilliant. So that this film's always stuck with me, always from being very young, and watching this for the first time. It was always a great watch. The next one we'll have a quick look at. What we're doing for time? How long have we been doing? About 45 minutes. Yeah. I'll take it to an hour, then we'll have a look from there. I've mentioned it once already, and the Vinegar Syndrome version of this film is absolutely phenomenal. What they've done with that is breathtaking. In that case, the release stuff. You'd never heard of it till I banged on about it. Yeah, it's one of those films. You know what I mean? It's one of those films that's got sort of cult classic status. Because it's a British film, it was always on the TV when I was younger. It's a PG as well, so they could just bang it on a Sunday afternoon and just let it run, so everyone saw it. It's just fantastic, you know what I mean, down to the absolute silliness of bits where they're just spraying silly string in each other's faces, but to get some kind of sort of effect out of it, the saying spraying the silly string and then sort of rewinding the film. It's really weird, but it works. It's cheesy, but it works. It is a great film. Who released this in the States? What company put this out, or did you buy a UK version of it? Cool. You was born in '77 as well. I'm November '77. I'm coming on to the end of the year. Cool. You got the UK version, so that's the version you picked up, the network version, because it looks bloody brilliant. I mean, the quality of that transfer is phenomenal. Cool. Next one that stands out for me, that's huge on my list of this genre, and like I say, it's what Vinegar Syndrome did with this version is just amazing. And we've never had a UK. The UK has never had a release of this on Blu-ray, and I don't know why. It is really, really weird. So I've got this really weird Spanish import, and it is the Beastmaster. Again, what Vinegar Syndrome's done with this is nothing short of breathtaking. Apparently, it looks amazing. The whole presentation of it is amazing. And here in the UK, we can't even get everything, so I have to get a Spanish import, which does the job, and it looks really good. You know what I mean? There's a back. All region as well. This one. Another one of those films that was as cheesy as hell back in the day, but I loved it for it. I can't tell you how many times I've actually watched this. I've lost count. You know what I mean? There's certain films within this genre that I have just watched and watched and watched and watched, and this one is probably in the top 5 most watched for me over the years. I love everything about it, even down to a black tiger. That's craziness. But it's just another one of those films that as a kid I was just mesmerized by it. And another one that's just stuck with me for years and years. But like I say, I've just got this weird Spanish import of it because there's no UK company that's put this out. The good thing with the Vinegar Syndrome one is with it being 4K. Obviously, it's not region locked. With it being 4K, so that's great. If I can get one of them over here, that's fantastic. So that's Beastmaster. Sort of the next ones really are the mainstay of this sort of genre, if you want to say. And I'll show all three at once because there's no point just kicking about around them because, well, I'll show two and then we'll look at the third one after. It's Conan the Barbarian, Conan the Destroyer. This is better than this, but I still love this. I love them both. They're both fantastic films. But this one was the big hit, wasn't it? You know what I mean? Everyone knows this film. This is not a bad release of it. Decent enough special features on it. There's commentary on there with Schwarzenegger. There's deleted scenes. Art of Steel, Sword Makers and Masters, Conan from the Vaults, Conan Unchained, the making of Conan, Conan, the rise of the fantasy legend, special effects, split screen videos, the Conan archives, and a theatrical trailer. Hello, Chris. How's it going, my friend? You okay? Nice to see a fellow Conan fan in. Yeah, I mean, a 4K release of this, mate. It will be fantastic. And it's like I was saying previously, I don't know how no one's picking this genre up and running with it. It's just weird. I don't understand it. It's a huge genre, a genre that everyone grew up with, everyone knows. Obviously, what Vinegar Syndrome, like we've just talked about, have done with Beastmaster, they'll know it would sell if they put these out in special editions. But I really don't know what the hang up is up with this genre of film. And especially in the UK, I mean, at least in the US, you've got some stuff coming through. We get very, very little here, all of the mainstream stuff. I remember watching this one when I was younger, and obviously everything else I've shown up to now that I sort of was watching was quite tame. And then I watched this for the first time and thought, holy shit, this is bonkers. You know what I mean? He's just hacking people to pieces. I mean, the chamber scene in the middle of the film, it still blows my mind to this day. It's fantastic. Conan the Destroyer is still enjoyable. I still like this film. Nowhere near as hardcore as Conan the Barbarian. But I still love both films. But they deserve better than just that. Yeah, it is, mate. It is night and day from one to the other. It really is. It's a class thing. Oh, hello. Dog's just decided to walk in. Hold on, I'll shut that door. Better. So that was both Conan films, which then leads me on to Red Sonja. I think this film's had a bit of stick over the years. Oh yeah, I mean the score of Conan, the orchestral score of that film, still to this day stands the hairs up on the back of my neck. It's amazing. It's unreal. If you have a look on YouTube, there's I think an Austrian orchestra playing the music from Conan over the top of the film while the film's playing, and it was filmed from the back of the auditorium, so you can see the orchestra and a little bit of the film in the back, and it is unreal. It is unreal. It's haunting. The music's that good. But yeah, it's probably one of the best scores out of a film of all time, may I say. It is that good. But this one again, Schwarzenegger sort of pops back up in this one as Calidor. Yeah, it is pure cheese. It's. I think I remember watching this one probably after these two. I probably watched these two than this. Because when did this come out? 85 was this? Yeah, 85. There were what, 81 and 83 or 84? I think so. I still personally love it. It's a good film. It's like I say, it's cheesy, but I love it for it. The again, just dead basic. Just no, I don't think there's even any proper special features on that one. I mean, Bridget Nielsen must have been a little bit pissed off on this because the extras on this one, special features, is Arnold Schwarzenegger, the man who raised Hollywood. There's not. I mean, it was Bridget Nielsen's film, and there's nothing about her in it. And then there's a small documentary on it, the making of a misunderstanding. So again, another film that I loved, and probably that's like the mainstream stuff. What other? Oh, we could talk about stuff like this. Again, not as mainstream as probably what they were, but again, I love this film. Again, it's on the HMV premium collection. Krull. Another really nice release that really deserves more. How this is in a special collector's edition by any of the boutique companies now, I'll never know. Again, high gloss slip box on this one. Not much in the way of special features on this release though. There's a couple of commentary tracks on it. There's behind the scenes commentary. There's a Journey to Krull, the featurette, and then the Marvel Comics video adaptation of it, which I don't think I've seen that. But again, it's a nice release for what HMV's put out of these. Again, the box is always the same as a slip. There's not much difference. Again, this one, there's a poster. And some art cards. I'm not even opening them. So again, there's your DVD. There's Blu-ray. There's a little bit of artwork in the back there, if you can see it. I mean, the whole, the glaive. I mean, the whole premise of this film was built around that glaive. You know what I mean? It's on absolutely everything. I mean, we'll have a look at the poster. The sort of like little A4 posters that you get in these. I mean, the damn thing's even up there. I mean, he's holding it there. It's on the art cards. It's on everything. And I think that glaive appears for around 6 minutes of screen time. He hardly uses it. You know what I mean? He virtually does nothing with it. He goes on the biggest quest of all time to reclaim it, and then does bugger all with it when he gets it. But it's cool. I mean, I'd love to see a reproduction of it. That would be great. I mean, is it full size? Is it screen accurate sizing? Because that would just be another level. I mean, I've never seen anything like that. So that was Krull. So that was another one I grew up with as well. You know what I mean? It was on every rotation. That another film. The thing with a lot of this stuff is, if you take notice of it, and there's a reoccurrence, is it's at the time of these films coming out, it's like the who's who of British acting at the time. I mean, a young Liam Neeson pops up in this one. A young Robbie Coltrane pops up in this one. There's loads and loads of British actors that were used to these films, and it's brilliant. Oh, it is life size. It is full size. That is fantastic. I'd love to see that, but that looks great. So again, these releases are nice. I mean, is that that's a Sony release, Columbia Pictures. So it did. Am I right in thinking that Krull in the US was put out by, was it Mill Creek? Did Mill Creek put that out? Transfer on this one looks pretty good. I know some of the guys in the US that I talked to aren't the biggest lover of the Mill Creek releases. I have got some Mill Creek import here on DVD, and they've always looked all right, but I've never seen any of the Blu-rays. So that was Krull, another mainstay of. It's not a good release. Then that mean maybe that one's an alternative then, because it does look pretty good. Like I said before, these are really cheap. Like I said, certain selected times of the year, these are 2 for £15, so like £7.50 each, which is it's a bargain for what you get. So the other two we'll have a brief look at. These were Canon films, so if you know me, you'll know that I like stuff released by Canon. This was Canon trying to jump on the bandwagon of what was going on, and it is Hercules and Hercules, the Adventures of Hercules 2. Two decent films. They're okay. Thought they are. You know what I mean? Just at face value. Don't try and read into anything. It's just Lou Ferrigno being big, wanted to be a corner. And it was just a cash grab for Canon Films just to try and coin some money in off the back of everything that was going on. These two releases from 101 Films. Again, if any of you have watched my channel before, you'll know I love 101 Films and what 101 do. Great UK company. Prices are cheap. They keep the prices cheap, but they keep the prices cheap by keeping some of the production value down. So the transfers are exceptional. All the transfers look really good, but they always try to lose it in the packaging. So the packaging is really, really plain. You don't get any extras, no bonus features, no nothing. But you get an excellent transfer of the film. And normally, these can be picked up for £6 new off 101 site. Failing if you can't get them from 101, then HMV is always with a look, because HMV stock 101 films as well. Hercules, the first one is okay. It's a decent enough film. Second one, if you know anything about this release, Lou Ferrigno, I don't think he didn't even know that he was in this film until it had been released. Because I think Canon did a bit of a shady trick with him to try and, because obviously money was tight for this release, and got him to sign a contract saying that they wanted to film more footage for this one. So they filmed a bit more footage with him that they said it was for this one. They filmed this one and then spliced that footage into this film. So I don't think he even got any royalties out of this one. I don't think he even got paid for it. So it's a weird one. But again, I think in the US, were these put out by Shout Factory? I think these are two Shout Factory titles. And they were picking up. I mean, if you're in the UK, they're definitely were picking up because they're dirt cheap. I don't know what the price is like in the US on them. But again, what the ones from 80, this one, yeah, it was Shout Factory, was it? So that was those two. mean, why I'm going through the 101 stuff. This is an ultra modern film, but it definitely falls in the category of and deserved a bit more praise than what it got. I think 101 have done a fantastic release with this. We'll have a quick look at this one now. Why I'm going through 101 films because they're right beside me here. And if you've not seen this, check it out. I would imagine it's on more streaming platforms. It is The Headhunter. Fantastic little film. Really good. This can be picked up on 101 site at the moment because I think there's still a sale on there for £8, I think. It's normally £12.99, I think. I think they took it down to £8. Really good film. Again, like I said, 101 titles. They try to keep the price down, unless you're buying into the special edition stuff on the normal range, on the red label range like that. They try and keep the price down. That is a good film. Go check that out. It's a nice little one. Now, just as Conan sort of blew my tiny mind when I saw it after all the other stuff I'd been watching, because it's just uber violence. The other one that then blew my socks off with how violent it was, and this is another HMV release as well, which is pretty cool, is Excalibur. Oh, unreal film. Epic. Absolutely fantastic. Again, nice release. Another film that deserves more than something like this, or I'm not 100% sure who put this out in the US. Well, this is what we got in the UK, and there is nothing. Special features is a commentary. It's like, that's it, and it deserved so much so, because I remember watching this for the first time, and I may have been very early teens when I first watched this, maybe a little bit younger. And this was another one. Just the violence in it was unreal, and I fell in love with it straight away. Another nice release from HMV, Blu-ray, DVD, digital download. Again, can be got into 2 for 15 when there's 2 for 15. That's the cause. That's out of date now. More art cards, still not opened. Again, DVD on one side, Blu-ray on the other. Bit of artwork. The good releases, I mean, the solid. They are solid releases. The only thing I would say with this one, and it is a Warner Brother film, so I'd imagine it's on the Warner Brother archives in the US. Is the transfer isn't brilliant. It's good. It's slightly better than the DVD, not much. And I do have the DVD of this as well. That was in one of those old clipper cases as well. It deserves better than what it's got. And again, I cannot believe that no one has given this any justice. But it is a nice one to add in my collection. If you are a collector, that's of the HMV stuff. That's Spy number 13, 1981. Really good film. Another one that blew me tiny mind when I first watched that. And another one that I've watched loads and loads of times again. What else have we got? We'll have a look at some of the more obscure stuff on DVD. In the UK, there was a company a good number of years back called Prism Leisure. Prism Leisure were fantastically brilliant at picking up low budget titles and then giving them a nice presentation on DVD. Now, as much as I love Blu-ray and stuff like that, 4K and all the rest of it, I still collect DVD, and for me, this is the only way I can own these titles, because in the UK now, the stuff I'm going to show you has never had, they've never had a Blu-ray release. Now I know these are available on Blu-ray in the States, but there isn't any over here. First one is Deathstalker. Again, a film that I do like. If you know this franchise and you know Deathstalker 2 and Deathstalker 3, you'll know they're absolute shit. But this one stands up. This one's is not a bad film. There's some special features on this ones as well, which is not so bad. I think there's a couple of these Roger Corman productions on the Prism Leisure release. So if you're looking at the Prism Leisure stuff in the UK, so I can get that there. That's the label you're looking for, right at the very top. A little prism with a rainbow going through it. This stuff is relatively cheap. It's like, if you can find it now, it's for pounds. It's for literally nothing. So on this one, there's a trailer on it. Oh, sorry, there is no special features. The special features are some trailers which have got nothing to do with the film, so which is a bit of a bummer. But they used to put out a nice thing. This is a defunct company now. Prism Leisure no longer exists. So that's what you got with a Prism Leisure release. So you've always got back art on the card. You always got a chapter selection. And it used to show you a few of the titles, and then the DVD always lined up with the artwork that was underneath it, which I always loved. I thought that was brilliant. They're always, if you find these as well, they're always a really, really good Amaray case. The quality of the case is fantastic. So it was Deathstalker. Now I've only recently just started picking these Prism Leisure releases up again. You can find them. You can find them out in the wild, or they're a bit harder to find out in the wild now. Or you've always got some kind of scalper on eBay that's trying to charge you over the odds from. But if you do come across them on eBay and you can find one cheap, pick them up, because they're generally good quality. Next one is David Carradine's The Warrior and the Sorceress. Another film that I really like, with a four-breasted lady, which is nuts. Again, it just blows my mind that nobody in the UK has bothered to put these out on Blu-ray. You know what I mean? Surely there's people out there that's going to buy this stuff. I find it hard to believe that there won't be people out there that's buying this stuff. No artwork in this one as per se, but it's got the chapter selection as normal, and the disc art's always quite nice on these. So if you're in the UK and you're looking for these, they can be picked up on DVD. Prism Leisure. Always look for Prism Leisure. You can look on CEX, look on eBay, even Amazon have a big thing of these. I mean, I can hate Amazon, but Amazon have a big thing on these as well. So they can be found. Just be careful what you pay for them. A couple of these titles are really hard to get hold of now. These ones, obviously, these are the easier ones. That's why I've got them. The harder ones to find on this now, on the Prism Leisure ones, And the one that I really can't find at the moment that I've not got in my collection is Barbarian Queen. I would love a copy of Barbarian Queen, but I'm not paying £20 for an out of print second-hand DVD. I just refuse to do it. What else was put out on this? Hawk the Slayer got a release on this on Prism Leisure. Again, I've got Hawk the Slayer on DVD as well as that lovely network version of it on Blu-ray. Pam Grier did one of these as well, The Arena, which I wouldn't mind trying to find. I'm sure there's another one as well. I'm sure there's another one that Prism Leisure put out. But I can't think what it is. So that's those two. So again, two real good films in the franchise, in the genre. Again, they also released Conan the Destroyer. He's on that Prism Leisure label as well. So that's another one that's worth a look at. The DVD quality of those is always really good. If you're not a DVD collector and you still, if you're not a Blu-ray collector and you're still a DVD collector, then they're definitely worth a look at. What else have we got? A bit more modern stuff, and it is a stinker, and it deserved much more love than what it got. And that was the original release. Oh, that's the original release of Dungeons and Dragons. Don't even know what went wrong with this film. It's a shame, really. It could have been so much more, and it could have been so much better. But we just ended up with that. It's got a really weird, like, dream sequence bit that's chopped out of it. Without that, the film doesn't make any sense. But then they put it back in the deleted scenes. If you watch it through the deleted scenes, the film sort of makes a little bit more sense. But it's really, really badly edited. But I've had that since that came out for years, and I don't know if that's it, but I'm not even sure if that's had a UK Blu-ray release, but it doesn't really warrant one. Certain sections of heavy metal was another one that stood out for me, along with Fire and Ice. Two good animated ones. I thought I had a copy of Fire and Ice, but for some reason I can't find it anywhere. There's certain sections of this that are just mental and brilliant at the same time. And then this one I have always loved. This is a bootleg, but it is the Flight of the Dragons. Brilliant Rankin Bass produced animation. Storylines superb. Animation style is what you'd expect from a company like Rankin Bass. I'm sure there's a Blu-ray release of this in the UK. I'm almost positive. Really, I need to pick that up and get it in the collection because I love this film. This film's great. That's the back of the bootleg. Not like anyone cares about bootleg, but there you go. So then there's loads and loads and loads of films from this genre that's never had any sort of release in the UK whatsoever, whether that was DVD or Blu-ray. One of the titles that I'd love to get my hands on, and I've recently seen a copy of it going on eBay, but it's just going for crazy money. So I can get a picture of it for you. Is Hundra. Let me see that. Hundra is a really good fantasy, high fantasy, sword and sorcery kind of thing with a female lead in it. There's a couple of others as well. Whereas that one is, bear with me. Well, that one's The Warrior and the Sorceress. There is another one called The Warrior and the Sorcerer. If you go back and look at a couple of these, if you look at the trailers on YouTube, and for some bizarre reason, there's about 4 films in this genre that all use the musical score from Battle Beyond the Stars, where it's a good soundtrack, but it was heavily used on other stuff, and it's used on them. Barbarians is another one that I really want to get my hands on. There's no official UK release of that on anything. A couple of other ones. There's a couple of other ones kicking about, but when you start looking into the more modern side of this genre, if you can call it, still keep it in line with the genre, no, I don't know, but there's some decent enough films. The throwaway films, they'll never be classics or cult classics. They're just what they are. But some of it's worth a watch. Warner Archives released Flight of the Dragons in the US. No, that's really good then. So if it's a Warner Archives, then there's a possibility that HMV could pick that up. They seem to be the main company in this country that pick the Warner Archive stuff up, or the Paramount Presents lineup. Excuse me, the more modern stuff, I'll just grab a handful. And again, I don't think they're truly sword and sorcery. One of these is, the other ones are around the more high fantasy kind of thing. But Highlander, love this film. Think it's absolutely amazing. There is a better version than this one in the UK now. I think there's a 4K transfer of this kicking about now, but it's on a Blu-ray. So I'd imagine at some point it will get a 4K release. I don't care for any other films that came after the back of this one. Is there about 4, I think, altogether? Don't really like them at all. Didn't like the TV series. The cartoon in the early 90s, I didn't mind. The Highlander cartoon is what it is. It's okay. But this is the standout. And again, not always a good film, but I am not the biggest lover of Queen as a band. That's probably sacrilege to say, but I'm not. It's not my cup of tea. But the score and soundtrack that they did for this film works with it perfectly, and goes with the film so well. Back of that one, there's a few special features on that one. There's an interview with the directors, interview with Christopher Lambert, making a documentary, deleted scenes, audio commentary. Willow, really love this film. This is a good all-round Lucas family film. Again, why this one's never had a fancy release, I'll never know. I mean, surely if any of this kind of stuff warrants a really nice release, or a special edition release, or a limited edition, whatever you want to call. I'm surprised Willow's never had it, because it is a great film, and this DVD release of it in the UK just doesn't do it justice enough. Special feature on that one was deleted scenes with Ron Howard, making of the adventure with Ron Howard, from morph to morphing, with Dennis Muren, Willow, the unlikely hero, personal video diary with Warwick Davis, and some matte paintings are on that one. That's cool. Now, this next one, when I was younger and I went to see this film, I came out of the film thinking, what the hell have I just watched? Because I'm a huge Master of the Universe fan, a huge He-Man fan. Watched this film and was like, can't get me head around it. Just cannot get me head around it. It's Master of the Universe, Dolph Lundgren. But the older I've got and the more times I've gone back to it, the more I've appreciated it. I think it gets better and better with every watch. It is what it is. Let's say it isn't He-Man and it isn't Master of the Universe, but it's still a damn good film. In the day, I suppose it was a bit of a letdown because you wasn't getting what you knew and loved of the Master of the Universe franchise. But looking back at it now, it's a fantastic film. It's probably one of Dolph Lundgren's best ones. Again, never had a UK release, so never had a UK Blu-ray release. Had a DVD release, never had a Blu-ray release in the UK. So this is a Scandinavian import. As you can see on the back. And again, blows my mind that a film like that doesn't get a release in the UK. I don't know what it is. It can only be licensing issues, I suppose. Next one, more high fantasy kind of film. And again, actor, I like him. He's pretty good. I wouldn't go out my way to say he's one of my favourites, but he's okay. And that's Tom Cruise in Legends. Now, I know there's been rumblings for a while that Arrow Video are going to put out a nice release of this, and I hope they do. And I hope that could start off the sort of snowball effect of Arrow or somebody else picking up these kind of films, because they deserve it. They really do deserve it. Just the back. The only special feature on this is a director's cut of the film. There's nothing else on it. So hopefully, if Arrow do it and do pick it up, they could get some real good stuff on there as well. Because I know the plan release for Dune. I'm really looking forward to that, even though it's had the documentary dropped off it for some bizarre reason. I don't know why. But I'll still pick a copy of Dune up. So if they can do, if Arrow can do justice to this, then it's hopefully it sparks off something with these companies, and they start to look at these films more and more. What else have I got? Okay, so we'll have a look at some really modern stuff. Again, not outstanding in any way, shape, or form, but they're good enough for what they are. Again, not really sword and sorcery, probably more high fantasy, high adventure kind of stuff. In my eyes, this is a really underestimated film. Probably didn't get the love it deserved, which was Solomon Kane. I thoroughly enjoy this film. I think it's worth a watch for anybody that's not seen it. Some nice bonus features on that one. And another one that I particularly like, a little bit cheesy, but it's all around. I think it's good for it. And the two main actors, Nicolas Cage and Ron Perlman, in it, I think it does it wonders. That is Season of the Witch. Again, worth a watch if you've never seen it. It's definitely something a little bit different, but it's okay. It's definitely worth a watch. Not sword and sorcery in any way, shape, or form, but I will whack it in here because of what it is, and that's Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. Absolute cheese fest, but I love it. I love it for it. I think it's great, and the practical effect with the troll in it, I think is superb. More films like this should do it instead of going CG. It just looks fantastic, and gives that element of something extra, and that element of yesteryear, like all this other stuff we've looked at, and it puts it straight into a modern film. I think it really works for it. This is a Guy Ritchie film, so this is Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, but with swords, but it's worth a watch. That's King Arthur, Legend of the Sword. I put this off and put this off and put this off for years and years and years because I like the Arthurian legend. I like all the other films that have come out over the years of the Arthurian legend. So I thought, no, there's no way Guy Ritchie can do a film like this and pull it off. And then I found this for like 50 pence, I think. I watched it. It's actually really, really good. I'm not saying I'll ever go back to it anytime soon, but I really enjoyed it for what it was. But it is Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels with a sword. So that was worth a look at. Another really good one with Ron Perlman in that I really enjoyed. Probably doesn't get enough. David Beckham is really good in it. Apart from the God only knows what accent he's trying to do. He plays a slaver in it, doesn't he? And the accent is absolutely shit. It's awful. Whatever that voice is that he's doing, it'd have been better just using his own voice or just dubbing him over with something else, because the voice in it is terrible. But it's David Beckham in a film. You know what I mean? It's Outlander. Another Rob Perlman film. I mean, Rob Perlman was in everything at one point. I think this is again a bit futuristic, a bit sword and sorcery. It's a decent film worth a watch. And same with this one. I suppose it was. I do like Vin Diesel. You can't be overcritical of his films because they are what they are and they know what they are. And it is The Last Witch Hunter. I mean, this one even came with a lenticular slipcover as well, which blew my mind. A good film worth a watch. If you're bored and you've nothing else to do, check them out. You know what I mean? It's modern cinema. It's throwaway titles. Check them out though. They are worth picking up. Even if you're going to stream them, they're worth the stream. But yeah, but there's so that's the more modern stuff. The one that I've currently not got here, and again, I wouldn't really class it as sword and sorcery. And it's never had a Blu-ray release in the UK, which is another one which blows my mind. Is Antonio Banderas in 13th Warrior. I have got a DVD copy of it, but it's in another room. Fantastic film, really, really good film. Warranted a Blu-ray release in the UK, but for some reason we've never got it. So that would have to be a US import, I think, because I don't think there's even a European release of it. There's no German release. I can't get a German release of it or anything. So that would have to be a US import for me. What else have we? I mean, there's the Lord of the Rings 4K set, which I would love, but I ain't paying the price of it that they want for it at the moment. So my Blu-ray box set is up there for it. So there's box set have I got that? And I've had this since the box set came out. And these look really good, but I would love the whole set in 4K, but it's just really, really pricey at the moment. So we'll have to wait on that. Again, modern stuff. If you're too snobby about cinema, or remakes or anything like that, then that's up to you. But I'm not that snobby about stuff, and I'll give something a watch once. If I like it, I like it. If I don't like it, I'll never watch it again. You know what I mean? There's no point slagging anything off. Just give something a watch once. If you don't like it, you never have to go back to it. Personally, I love both of these. One's a remake, one's a follow-on. First one, Clash of the Titans and Wrath of the Titans. I love both of them. Two really good films. Went to the cinema to watch both of these. Yeah, you know what I mean? They're just good popcorn films. It's, you know what I mean? Plus, we're always going to watch these in our house. Because of what's his name? Well, I can't even see it on the back. Sam Worthington, of course it's Sam Worthington. These can always be watched in our house because of Sam Worthington. Because my missus thinks he's brilliant. So I can always put these on, and the wife will enjoy these with me, as well as not much of this other stuff that my wife would watch, but that, because of him, we can watch them. I think that'll pretty much do it for what I've got there. The other thing that I'll show you that's definitely worth a look at, and if you've not picked a copy of it up and you're into this kind of stuff, it's definitely worth picking up. I think it can currently be picked up from Amazon. I hate Amazon, but it's an Amazon release book, and it's the only place you can get the bloody thing from. So my sister-in-law picked me this one up from it, and that is Barbarians at the Gates of Hollywood. It's a great, insightful read about sword and sorcery films through the ages, coming through all the 80s stuff. If I give you a rundown on it, so the films that it sort of goes through is Hawk the Slayer, Sword and the Sorcerers, Conan the Barbarian, The Beastmaster, Fire and Ice, Hundra, The Devil's Sword, Conan the Destroyer, Red Sonja and the Barbarians, and then influences on the Sword and Sorcery kind of stuff. So it called Influences from the Stars. It's Flash Gordon, Prisoners of the Lost Universe. Now I'm trying to get hold of a copy of that. There is a copy of that on Blu-ray at the moment in the UK. I'm dying to get hold of that. Highlander, Master of the Universe, Gore, and Outlaw of Gore. And then the Roger Corman stuff. So Sorceress, Deathstalker, The Warrior and the Sorceress, Wizards of the Lost Kingdom, Barbarian Queen, Amazon's Storm Quest, Deathstalker 2, Deathstalker 3, Wizards of the Lost Kingdom 2, Barbarian Queen 2, and then the Italian influence, so the Italian wave of stuff that came, so the spaghetti sword and sorcery stuff, which would have been Gunnan, King of the Barbarians, Ator. Ator is available on Blu-ray from 88 Films, I think, in the UK. Sword of the Barbarian, the Seven Magnificent Gladiators, Thor the Conqueror, Throne of Fire, The Blade Master. Blade Master's a good film. The Adventures of Hercules, Iron Warrior, and Sinbad of the Seven Seas. And Sinbad of the Seven Seas is another Lu Fuengo film, which is on the 101 list. I've not got that one yet. That could be another one I could pick up. So yeah, so if you're into all that kind of stuff and you like a book, check that out. Barbarians at the Gates of Hollywood. It's a decent enough read. We're at the hour and 40-minute mark. I've pretty much exhausted everything. We've had some good people in here. It's nice to get people in that I know from the community, and that it's really good. Nice to see my brother in here. Chris from Craig from the 80s. Go and check his channel out. He has a brilliant 80s nostalgia channel over there. He has some fantastic stuff. My good mate Johnny Walker. If you're into 80s horror stuff and horror stuff in general, to be honest, go and check him out. I'll drop some links for everybody in the comments, in the description. Sorry. Gonna go check out Pop's Movie Dungeon. What Alan's doing over there at the moment as well. That's worth checking out. Thanks for Vader Drone for stopping in and having a chat with us. That's always a good thing. It's nice to see that that somebody picked up on one of my recommendations and liked it. It means that stuff that I'm banging on about for hours at a time is getting to people, and people are finding things out that they didn't know before and liking stuff, which is good. That's what it's all about. Yeah, I think that's about it. Coming on for an hour and 42. 3 people in, still in. I'll probably call it a day though. So thanks for everyone tuning in. Once I get more titles through, obviously I've got stuff coming in all the time, especially these Prism Leisure releases now, picking more and more of that old DVD stuff up all the time. That's just going into a collection. So the more of this stuff I get in, then I'll do another live stream of this stuff, because I think this is the better way. If I can get people interested, people want to chat about stuff as well, as it saves just me rambling on about stuff. People can get involved as well. So I enjoy it, and I hope you enjoy it too. So I'm going to end it here. So thank you everybody for popping in and having a chat and things. It's been a nice Sunday afternoon to do something like that. More videos going up soon on this channel. For those of you that follow my channel for the 80s cartoon stuff, I'm going to be doing some rare and out of print stuff soon. That's in the collection. I know a couple of people have asked for it. So that'll be coming up soon. And then over on my other channel, Tony's Creepy Corner. Again, I'll leave a link down below for that. Bye, Dean. See you later. I've got more content coming onto that channel as well. That channel is all about 80s horror and 80s horror that I've got in my collection, from stuff that was on the UK DPP ban list, right up to sort of family friendly horror stuff. So yeah, thanks for everyone tuning in, and we'll see you all soon. See you later. Bye bye. Thank you. Bye.